Just when the tension in the Heartland Season 19 trailer seems overwhelming, the mood shifts, but not in the way you'd expect. Suddenly, we're thrown into a celebration. Music, bright colors, dancing, laughter. For a brief moment, it feels like something good is finally happening. But beneath the surface of this cheerful moment lies a mystery that could unravel yet another layer of drama in the season. The trailer flashes what looks like a vibrant Indian wedding, a burst of color in an otherwise emotionally heavy teaser. At first glance, it's beautiful, joyful, and unexpected. But one question immediately arises: who's getting married? And why now? The trailer gives us very little, almost like it wants us to speculate. But longtime fans already have theories, and they all seem to point in one direction: Gurgi. That's right. Behind-the-scenes photos have already confirmed Gurgi's return this season. She's always been a spirited, outspoken character who isn't afraid to challenge the status quo, and her reappearance now, during one of Heartland's most unstable chapters, is very interesting timing. The rumors are swirling that Gurgi may be the bride at this Indian wedding. And if that's true, then Season 19 isn't just exploring love, it's exploring commitment, cultural intersections, and the collision of past and present. But there's a twist: where is Quinn? That's the question fans can't stop asking. Quinn and Gurgi's relationship had been developing steadily, and they seemed to be headed for something serious. But in this trailer, and in the wedding scenes, there's no sign of him. Not even a mention. That silence is loud. Too loud to ignore. Could this wedding be Gurgi marrying someone else? Someone we haven't met yet? Or worse, someone we have met, but never expected to see her with? If that's the case, then Quinn's absence might not be accidental. It might be a sign of something deeper: a breakup, a betrayal, or even a secret that Gurgi kept hidden. Maybe this isn't a happy ending for her at all, maybe it's a new beginning she was forced into. The trailer doesn't give us answers, but it teases just enough to make it clear: this wedding isn't just a side plot. It matters. It's connected to the bigger picture. And it's not just about Gurgi. The wedding acts as a mirror for the rest of the characters. Amy sees a couple moving forward, embracing joy, commitment, certainty. And it rattles her. Because while others are dancing and celebrating, Amy is still hesitating. Still wondering whether to step forward or back. Nathan sees it too, and you can see the effect it has on him in a brief shot where he watches the wedding from the sidelines, arms folded, face unreadable. Is he thinking about what he wants with Amy? Or is he realizing that love isn't always enough? Then there's Caleb. He's also present at the wedding, and from his expression, he's not entirely thrilled. Some fans believe he's attending with his new partner, but there's a weight that never really leaves Amy Fleming, and in Season 19, that weight has a name: Ty. Though he's been gone for a while now, his memory lingers stronger than ever in this new chapter. And for Amy, the line between grieving and moving on has never felt more blurred. The Season 19 trailer makes it clear that Amy is still haunted, not in a literal way, but emotionally, spiritually. There are brief but telling moments where she's caught looking at old photos, or just staring into space with this faraway look in her eyes. She's not just remembering Ty. She's reliving him every day, every time she's faced with a decision that reminds her she's on her own now. What's even more heartbreaking is how this grief spills into her relationship with Nathan. It's not just that she's comparing them, it's that she doesn't want to compare them, but can't help it. Ty was her first and only real love. He was there through the worst, the best, the unspoken. Nathan? He's new, different, kind, but unfamiliar. He doesn't have that history, that shared pain. And no matter how hard he tries, he can't touch that part of Amy's soul where Ty still lives. The trailer shows Amy pulling back emotionally, not out of anger, but out of fear. There's a scene where she says something like, "I can't lose again." It's not just about Nathan. It's about survival. Emotional survival. Amy's afraid that if she opens her heart again, if she dares to hope again, she'll lose it all, just like she did with Ty. And that kind of fear doesn't just go away. It lingers, it poisons, it sabotages. But Amy's not the only one dealing with Ty's shadow. Nathan, too, is feeling the pressure and the pain of living in another man's silhouette. It's one thing to build a relationship. It's another to build one while constantly being reminded that someone else will always be a step ahead in your partner's heart. And Nathan knows this. He feels it. There's a particularly powerful moment in the trailer where Nathan lashes out at Caleb, saying something like, "You and I, we're just stand-ins, aren't we?" That line hits hard. It's a moment of raw honesty, of frustration finally spilling over. Because both men, Nathan and Caleb, have tried, in their own ways, to be there for Amy after Ty. But neither of them has ever really had her, not fully. And deep down, they both know why. Caleb, especially, is a wild card this season. He's not just background anymore. He's wrestling with his own regrets, his own what-ifs. And while on the surface he seems to have moved on, even getting involved in a new relationship, the trailer suggests that his feelings for Amy haven't entirely faded. In one scene, Caleb is seen looking at Amy from a distance, almost like he's waiting for a signal. A green light. Anything. And while he doesn't say it, his eyes do. "If you asked me to, I'd come back." But Amy doesn't ask. And maybe that's worse. There's a tension between Caleb and Nathan, too, not X. While the tension between Amy and Nathan drives the emotional core of Season 19, there's another storm brewing at Heartland, one that could shake the very foundation of the ranch itself. And it centers around a character who has always been the rock of the family, Jack Bartlett. From the moment Jack appears in the Season 19 trailer, something feels off. It's subtle, the way he moves, the way he holds himself, the quiet looks exchanged between him and the others. But the clues are there, and they're unsettling. One particular scene has fans talking. Jack and Lindy are shown in a hospital, but not a veterinary clinic. A real hospital. And that changes everything. Now, the trailer doesn't confirm why they're there. Is it Jack? Is it Lindy? At first glance, you might assume it's the horse, since Heartland always blends human drama with animal stories. But take a closer look. The tone of the scene is too heavy, too still. If it were just a horse in trouble, you'd expect a rush, a flurry of movement. But this scene lingers. It sits. And it feels personal. Some fans believe this is the beginning of a serious health crisis for Jack. And if that's true, then this season is about more than romance and rivalry, it's about loss. Real, permanent loss. Jack has always been the backbone of Heartland. The wise voice. The steady hand. The keeper of the land and the legacy. But what happens when he starts to fade? Who steps up? Who carries that weight? The trailer hints at a shift in energy, one that suggests Jack may no longer be able to hold everything together. And that scares everyone, whether they say it out loud or not. Even more disturbing is the vandalism. In one of the more shocking moments of the trailer, Jack's truck is seen completely trashed, windows shattered, paint scratched, tires slashed. It's not just an act of teenage rebellion or a random crime. This is targeted. Personal. Someone wanted to send a message, and they sent it loud and clear. The big question is, who did it? There are a few suspects, but one name keeps coming up: Nathan's sister. She's bold, manipulative, and unapologetically aggressive. We already know she doesn't like the compromises Nathan made with Heartland. So is it that hard to believe she, or someone working with her, would resort to intimidation? But it doesn't stop there. The vandalism may be the start of something more violent. Something that pulls the whole family into danger. Remember, this isn't just about ranch politics anymore. This is about territory, power, and pride. And once someone crosses that line, there's no going back. You can already see Jack's reaction in the trailer, not just anger, but fear. He knows what this kind of thing means. It's not just a threat to his truck. It's a threat to everything he's built. The land. The family. The peace they've all fought so hard to keep. But here's where it gets even more complicated. Lindy is watching all of this unfold. She's old enough now. The biggest shock from the season 19 trailer isn't a new character, a romantic twist, or even a tragedy. It's the feeling. The tone. From the very first frame, you can tell this season is different. Darker. More personal. And no one is feeling the weight of that change more than Amy Fleming. Amy and Nathan's relationship, which seemed like a fresh start last season, is now caught in a storm of emotional landmines. At first glance, they're strong, united, even. But the trailer reveals something deeper, a relationship slowly being pulled apart by loyalty, trauma, and family pressure. And standing right in the middle of that pressure cooker is Nathan's sister. Now, if you remember her brief appearance in season 18, she was more of a question mark than a threat. But in season 19, she's not just back, she's active, and not in a good way. Turns out, she shares a complicated history with Amy's late mother, which adds an emotional layer to her already tense relationship with the Fleming family. But even more troubling? She's clearly not on board with the peaceful alliance Nathan tried to build between his ranch and Heartland. In fact, the trailer makes one thing painfully clear: she sees compromise as weakness. And while Nathan wants balance, between Amy, his responsibilities, and the land, his sister wants control. She's not just back to visit. She's here to stake her claim, and she doesn't care who she alienates in the process. Amy sees this. She feels the shift. And yet, she's stuck, torn between protecting the legacy of Heartland and holding on to the first real connection she's had since Ty. That inner conflict is written all over her face in the trailer. You can see it in the way she pulls away when Nathan reaches for her, in the way she looks off into the distance, haunted by memories she can't shake. And yes, Ty's presence is still here. Not physically, but emotionally. It lingers in Amy's every choice, every hesitation. The trailer even shows Amy glancing at a photo of Ty just before she argues with Nathan. That scene says everything. Part of her is still afraid. Afraid to love. Afraid to lose again. And who can blame her? But Nathan isn't just dealing with Amy's emotional walls. He's facing his own. The trailer gives us a glimpse into his frustration, especially when it comes to being compared to Ty. There's a scene where he throws a line at Caleb, something like, "You think you're the only one who'll never be good enough?" That one sentence says it all. Nathan doesn't just feel like an outsider, he feels like a placeholder. Like he'll never live up to the ghost of Ty. And that insecurity? It's dangerous. Because it's the kind that festers. The kind that doesn't explode right away, but simmers beneath the surface until it's too late. The trailer even hints at that breaking point. In one tense moment, we see Nathan and Amy arguing, not the usual misunderstanding, but something heavier. There's no shouting, just silence and disdain.